Rap music is spoken word with a beat. Kids in the inner city dealing with violence, poverty, the loss of family members, they have life extremely difficult. These are experiences that we usually don't hear about, and when we do, it is through the over-sexualized, over-dramatized, over-violence, basically the commercial vision of their lives. We're not getting a full picture of any of these issues, but with rap music, this will help us learn more. Think about the prevalence of rap music in our societies. It seeps into more than the inner city thug life. The largest consumer of rap music is suburban males aged 15 to 24. So this is an experience that we all share. It's important to understand where it started. Rap music started in the 1970s in housing projects of New York. As you may know, in the 1970s through the 80s, there was a large crack epidemic. This epidemic caused a lot of violence and a lot of the destruction of family units. The jail systems and prison systems increased in population enormously. With the loss of these role models in the older generations, a lot of youth struggled to find their way growing up. They rallied together in positive ways and negative ways. The negative ways ended lives and put people behind bars forever, but rap became a way to unite them, and rap groups were something that almost anybody could identify with, and so I mean, what's the problem with that? They were able to correctly convey their story.
In our 21st century urban environment, think about the prevalence of rap music. In urban locations such as cities, where rap music is seen to be based upon. Professor Miles White says, hip-hop music is based upon the visual and narrative representation of young black inner-city men. When foreigners or tourists come to America, they will most likely go to places like Los Angeles or New York. They will walk the streets, see the locals, and they may base their opinion on American society off such a limited snapshot. So, our question is, does such a small, limited point of view accurately represent our American tale? Our American tale meaning an honest, not stereotypically or over-dramatized, sexualized, marginalized, glamorized, or televised community. It is our wish that even as Americans who live here, you don't buy into the commerciality of the glamour of rap music, but see what it truly is. It is the honesty through tales of a selected group of gifted individuals and the struggles or triumphs they choose to express. Rap's history may appear brief, but instead a long-standing history of historians, lyrical fetishism, and political advocacy. Rap music was originally used as an outlet for the pain African Americans faced during slavery and segregation. The songs carried strong messages used to empower African American communities. People enjoyed rap music for its meaningful lyrics. African Americans used rap to blind themselves together under the belief that they must strive for excellence through respective art forms.
Since then, rap has lost a lot of its meaning. Today, rap is used solely for the purpose to listen to music, unlike in the past when it was used to portray a message. The music industry and mainstream media has bombarded society with a steady amount of rappers that solely speak of drugs, sex, and violence. Negative messages and images have influenced the majority of the current teenage population. Black men are often viewed as criminals due to the fact that rap has depicted them as violent people. Rap music first gained its popularity in the U.S. around the late 70s and early 80s. It was viewed as a type of street art commonly used with groups of African American teenagers. By the 90s, rap evolved from a type of old-school style to newer and louder artists such as Biggie and Tupac. Lyrics used in rap from the early 80s was much more controversial than how rap is portrayed today. With negative influences, rap is found to be more generalized as offensive. With rappers such as Eminem, Meek Mill, and Dr. Dre, rap music transformed from once being seen as bringing African Americans together to now being viewed as vulgar and disrespectful. Okay, I'm done. From the beginning, rap was used to portray messages or tell stories. Although nowadays it is more common for rappers to write about subjects that can be viewed as offensive, there are still some artists who choose to tell stories through their lyrics. For example, Meek Mill talks about various situations that have affected his life, such as his father being murdered, in his song Traumatized. Tony's Story Part 1 and 2, also written by Meek Mill, are both songs that tell a story that includes a couple of different people. Other rappers that tend to tell stories through their songs are Eminem and Hopsin.
Despite nowadays rap groups and musical artists talking about drugs, sex, and violence in many of their songs, there were some artists around the late 90s, early 2000s that talked about things that they actually cared about and meant a lot to them. A big topic at that time was education, with two select artists, Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac. And they wrote about education in their songs. One of Biggie's songs was The Sky's the Limit. Tupac speaks about how he feels about education, and the way he says it is very, relative. He says that school is really important. Reading, writing, arithmetic. But what they tend to do is teach you reading, writing, arithmetic again, and then again, and just making it harder just to keep you busy. There should be a class on religious cults. There should be a class on police brutality. There should be a class on apartheid. There should be a class on racism in America. There should be a class on why people are hungry. But there's a class on gym, you know? I like foreign languages. I think that they are important, but I don't think it should be required. Actually, they should be teaching you English, and then teach you how to understand double talk, politicians double talk. Not teach you how to understand French and Spanish and German. When am I going to Germany? I can't afford to pay my rent in America. How am I going to Germany? And he goes on with different types of feelings about education and how it should be. But that's one thing that sets him apart from the rap that many people are familiar with today. The music today is mostly meaningless. It's all the same, all sending the same message, which isn't a very positive one, and which that I think hip-hop has changed drastically over the times, and rap music has really just turned itself completely around, and it's really just not the same.
Rap music, yeah!